Yeah, it hasn't been an easy ride. I think we started from the junior league where we also played 2016 Bale Cup, where we produced Mihlali Mayambela, that is currently playing in Europe. And then we've managed to secure the franchise here, Cape Umoyo, which is we are playing on the third division now. At that time then, I did it to give opportunity to the township boys so that we can try and eliminate the things that are happening in townships. And then while we were pushing, and then I managed to invest in myself in doing the badges of the coaches, the D licenses, the C licenses, so that we can give quality to these boys.
I've seen you on the touchline, coach, especially at the Engine Knockout Challenge as well. And this project of JL Zwane, what is the impact that you've seen, especially with the youth? I think you've touched on some of the players that you've produced as well.
Yeah, we quite produced a lot of players. Even now, this season, we've lost 7 players to the semi-professional teams and also to the professional teams. It's really doing a huge impact in the township. For example, even now, what I'm wearing, I was approached by one of the township businessmen, T-Square from Gugulethu, that has just been nominated internationally in producing the brand originally from Gugulethu because of the project. Yeah. When we play our home games, it's not less than 500 supporters that are coming at NY49 Stadium. So it's really doing huge at Gugulethu, especially the neighborhood, Nyanga, Philippi, Crossroad.
Take us through some of your long-term projects, especially with JL Zwane. We understand now you are in the third division of Suffolk Cape Town. As you measure the performance, what is your overall assessment?
Look, for the past 3 seasons when we started with a very young team. Obviously, it's difficult to keep the quality inside the project. But now, I think for this year, I think it's a time that we compete because these boys started at the age of 18 when they were started on this league. Now, I think they are more matured now with more, also the coach also equipping himself, beefing up the project as well. I'm sure this year we will compete as one of the few teams that are coming from the Black Townships that are on the league. So definitely we have big plans. And yeah, remember these boys started, when I started with these boys on under 16, I took them to Italy in Reggio Emilia where we played a tournament there. So it has been a build-up in terms of building up these boys for the bigger stages. This year, I'm sure, although we lost 7 players, but yeah, I'm sure this year we will compete.
I think that's some of the, it comes with it when you coach it in youth development and you're focusing with the youth, that you will lose players to some of the prominent clubs, but then you still go back to the base. Yeah.
Look, it has also made us to be big, because right now we have under 10s, 12, 14, 16. Yes. So it has made us to grow bigger. I remember this is a church club. This whole project started from the church. Yeah. So with me coming in with the previous pastor not being involved in the project, running the project, making sure that these kids, remember these kids, some of them must be fed because they're coming from home without nothing at home. Some of them don't have soccer boots with a kit, all those kind of things. So it's really growing well, but it's a struggle.
Let's talk about fundraising, and especially when you touch on that, what are some of your fundraising activities just to keep the club going and sustainable?
It's funny now, this year we have started to make groups of the parents where we give responsibilities to the parents to raise funds for these boys. Even now, recently, we're having a plan to get them some uniform, where we give each child a paper to go and get a collection with the parents, trying to get letters of donations, all those kind of things. So it hasn't been easy, but we are pushing it. And lastly, what we are intending to do, I just spoke now with Andrew, a funny thing that we also have to go aggressively to our supporters, even if we have to make a T-shirt, where the supporters will have their T-shirts in terms of giving back to the project.
Brand awareness as well, and just also to take the supporters on the journey. Talk about the relationship with the local football association. What is some of the relationships that you do have, and maybe even with SAFA as well, just to ensure that the project remains sustainable and that maybe you can also achieve some of the goals that you've set out for yourselves in the third division?
No, look, I wouldn't lie. We are getting a big assistance when it comes to facilities of training. We are training at NY49 Stadium, where there's a full equipment and kit, as well as the changing room and the AstroTurf. Pertaining the local LFA teams, you will know that when it comes to players' movement, there's those challenges. However, we are We are trying to get there, but they do support us.
Yes.
But it's an ongoing thing that we need to install in their minds. Players need to move to the next step. However, we do get the support to our neighbors, especially Nyanga, Gugulethu, player teams to the LFAs.
That's good, because you need that kind of a base,
Yeah.
that kind of a support, because then it means that you do have a sustainable relationship with some of these clubs. Just share with us some of the activities, especially when it comes into coaching at the club. What are some of the opportunities that you do have for your young and upcoming coaches?
Look, as JL Zwane Football Club, we are based at the church. We have an after-school program that is happening at the church, where we've got former teachers that they do a program every day when they sit with these boys in class from grade 4 to grade 9. On Saturday, we have a maths classes that happens on Saturdays for grade 12. All those teachers that are there, they have been funded by the church's program. So we push kids to their after-school program and also to the field. So we measure the two. We try and combine so that not only focusing on football. So that's a kind of other leg that we try and push to these boys so that they can be able to provide to their families.
Indeed, I like the life skills part, and just to take care of the education aspect. The future plans, as we wrap it up in 30 seconds?
Look, the most important one, it is to compete for this season. Last time we've produced a player that played internationally was Mihlali Mayambela. So we need to produce another big one that will make a name outside there. As we can see in our township what is currently happening. So we need to change that mentality and that view what is happening around there.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for hosting.
Thando Sodinga giving us some latest developments at JL Zwane. He's an all-round administrator. He's very much involved into coaching, and he's taking care of the youth in Gugulethu and all around Cape Town. Well, that's all that we have for you on this platform, and we really do appreciate that you engaged with us, and you can engage with us as well on social media platforms. We'll see you again next time.